Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I also thank the two senators there that worked with for many years, both great leaders. And I enjoyed, Senator Johnson, following you and Lloyd Benson. You were simply great. And thank you for coming here today. And to you others, I appreciate you, the time you put into it, and the time you've given us here with your testimony. Joe, I was with you out there when we went west to sign the last good energy bill that this Congress has passed. And I well remember Bush giving some of us pens, but I well remember him in good nature turning to me and saying, Ralph Hall's with us because he likes a coffee on Air Force One. What he didn't know was I had 6 of his mugs in my briefcase at that time. But, you know, Senator Dorgan, you're exactly right on your fine energy past and history and support. And you're right when you say we must understand climate change. And we get a lot of that from the other side, too. And, of course, we should. And we must understand that, though, that we've also spent $34 billion and had very little change, climate change, very little effect on it. I just think that it's obvious that we have an administration that's anti-energy, and the environmentalists that say don't drill on Little Anwar is just 19 million acres there. And I well remember we had, I think, 22 bills over to the Senate. And we had Senator Frist, I believe, Doctor, was the chairman then at that time. And he thought more like a businessman than he did about energy, in my opinion, because one of those bills got through and Clinton vetoed it. And the Bushes had a shot at, I think, the other 20. And someone would get up to filibuster it, and the senator would pull it down because I think he didn't want to waste the Senate's time. I really think he should have burned them down, let those who wanted to filibuster, and we'd have some drilling on Anwar that we don't have now. They say don't drill on Little Anwar, it's just 19 million acres. We want to drill on, what, a couple of thousand acres or 1,000 acres there for 60, maybe 50 years of energy. I think we ought to be doing that. I guess it's obvious that we do have an anti-energy administration. And my question to you, I guess, Senator Johnson, is do you believe that our national energy policy is still mistakenly based on the belief that we're somehow in an age of energy scarcity?
You know, I don't really believe in energy scarcity. I think new supplies are pulled up all the time. They're based on technology like fracking. I well remember, you know, it wasn't very many years ago that we'd almost not heard of shale gas. George Mitchell down in your state, old friend of mine, you know, he went in with some DOE money and created that new technology, which has revolutionized America. Bakken shale, Bakken oil in the Bakken shale has revolutionized certainly my colleague's home state. So I think there's not the scarcity that some talk about. I think we can be energy independent in this country, and I think it's a goal we should pursue.
And we talk about free market versus regulation. Of course, that's an easy choice for me, but if I'd come down on the side of regulation, I'd have some concern about the EPA and their regulation and their lack of science that they take into consideration as they really damage the energy thrust.
Well, I disagree with the EPA on some things, agree with them on others. Certainly we need the highest environmental standards, which I think we can consistent with energy independence. One of the things that neither EPA nor any other agency can do is allocate resources. And that really is the heart of my point today, that government regulatory bodies just can't allocate resources. Let them make safety rules, but but don't try to allocate resources.
Thank you, and I'll just close with the fact that jobs are hurting us, and they're hurting for 18, 19-year-olds and graduates who want jobs and seeking jobs. There are fewer jobs, and unless we change some things up here, we're not going to have very many employers a year from now. The most important word in the dictionary today, other than prayer for young people, is the word energy. And I thank you both, and I thank this panel for your input. I yield back.
This sounds